So you've bought a 3D printer. That's nice. I got me one of them Ender 3 version 2s. And you can use it to print all sorts of groovy stuff. Stuff with threads, nice strong prints. But you've probably read online, keeping your printer filament dry. And you're thinking to yourself, is that important? And yes it is, because if you don't keep it dry, you'll end up printing rather sketchy pan scrubbers. So if you do want to print rather sketchy pan scrubbers, you can stop watching this video now. Nice aquarium. It is actually, I quite like it. Lovely fish. Hello fish. Look at my fish. Then you're thinking to yourself, well of course your filament's going to get damp. You're printing smack next to a bloody great aquarium, you knobber. Which is true. But once you make one of these bad boys, which I'm giving a bit of a clue here, it's made from a Fat Balls box. Hygrometer from the old Amazon. And a few other bits and bobs. Dead easy to make. This is airtight and it's keeping my filament nice and dry all the way to the printer. This project starts with a Fat Balls box, so be nice, feed the birds. Look, there's pictures of tits right on the box. And fat balls. So you need one of these, £7 from GJ's. GJ's in Alfreton is the best shop in the world. It's Aladdin's cave. You cannot go in there and not buy a load of stuff. Get 1 or 2 or 3 of these. Feed the birds, be nice. You will then need some other bits and bobs. Let me get this angle right. You will need some washers with spacers. These are pretty cool. Yeah, I printed them myself because, well, I could use metal washers. But if you look at the prices of metal washers, you might as well drill holes in quid coins. Really expensive. So, yeah, print them. The plastic's great under compression. So, you need a bunch of those. I'll show you why in a bit. You'll need some small spacers. If you can see them, let me zoom in a bit. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, tidy zoom. Yeah, some small ones. Trust me, you will. I'll show you in a bit. Need some little brackets to hold the threaded bar. So your threaded bar sits in these slots. Holes are just for saving plastic, not to look cool. So you're going to have 2 of them, bits of threaded bar hanging off them, rollers on it. Your reel's going to spin around on that, not wear out the bottom of your box. Easy peasy. You'll need some nuts, and I was thinking, you know what, I could probably print these. And gland nuts, again, I could probably print them. You can buy these sorts if you like. These are more expensive, but they grip the tube a bit better because you're going to need some Teflon tube or PTFE tube. That just pushes in, and then that's actually really tight. To press that in to undo it. Excellent. Skateboard bearings. Now these are great. You'll want some of these. Why skateboard bearings? Because they make millions and millions of them. They're all the same size, and you can get probably 30 online for about £7. So cheap. Cheapest bearings you can get. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. I'll eat my words. This isn't part of the box, but we'll stick with it. You will need some desiccant. You can buy a kilogram of it online. Marvellous. Or, you know, if Kanye starts walking through your house in his new shoes, you could say, Kanye, did you save the desiccant from your shoebox? And can I have it, please? And what with Kanye being a bit of a rock, he'll probably say, of course you can have my desiccant. I'm not using it. Boom. So you could be tight and not bother. And that is about it. Other things you will need. Buy some spray bottles. Fill the spray bottle with alcohol and then spray that on your bed before you start printing. It helps your piece stick to the bed. And you will probably need some calipers. Just trust me on this. You'll be measuring things like nuts and bolts and spacers and washers and all sorts. Just dead useful. And what are these, £8? You will need these if you're doing stuff, you know, and get used to using Blender or some modelling package. And you'll be using this a lot because you want to print things that are millimetre perfect. I mean, most of this is millimetre perfect. How did I get that gap right? Well, I measured it. So, you know, get beyond one piece of threaded bar. There we go, look, and boom, measure. See, I'm teaching you how to measure a piece of threaded bar. That's how useful I am. And you can kind of guess what I'm going to do with this threaded bar. Let me take this down a bit. We're going to build something like this with the washers and the nuts and the skateboard rollers. So I don't know if you can see that properly. The spacers keep this tight, but let this rotate in the middle. And then your reel is going to sit on that. So each side of your reel sit on its own little bearing that rolls around nice and easy. Proper angle, oh yeah. And the nuts and bolts arrangement helps you get the spacing dead right. Pricing. Here's the fully paid up big spender version on the left, which is where you buy just about everything except the bits you would obviously want to 3D print. The stuff on the right might not be quite as strong, but I think you could print your threaded bar and your metal nuts and even the gland nuts. So the bare minimum you'd need to buy is 13 quid per box that will hold 2 reels with the rollers and tubes to get your filament all nice and dry from the box into your print head. I think that's pretty good, because you're looking at 20 odd quid on Amazon for a box that does one reel. So that's at least a third of the cost, and you get to make it all yourself, which is the best bit, you know, because you've got a 3D printer, you like making stuff, that's the whole point, right? So yeah, do this. Try not to spend as much money, see if you can print everything. What have I got here? Bearings, yeah. Can you print the bearings? You could Google it and you could say 3D printed bearings for projects, and it's like, well, yeah, but you haven't invented it. The whole point is inventing it. So get yourself a copy of Blender and go and blooming well make some. Roller bearings, tapered bearings, ball bearings, who knows? I'm sure you could print something. I imagine you would need to go pretty high resolution with your print, so it'll take a while, but go for it, folks. Hopefully you get the general idea. You just tweak until this is smack in the middle on both of those. That's quite good. And then nip it all up. That's what you're making. Take this nut right to the end. And of course we've done 2, because this is 2 reels per box, so that's nice. Separate it. Now you must be wondering, what did you need that separator for? Well, when I've got one of them that side, don't know if you can see that properly, and then I turn it around, one of them that side, I still need another spacer after it. So unless I print some of them with a spacer on both sides, which would be a bugger to print because there'll be like support on all the washer, easy just to print a few of them little ones, you see. That's what I'm doing there. So you've been to your shed and you've got your angle grinder out and you've trimmed off the end of your threaded bar, and that's great. Don't forget to put on your eye defenders and your ear defenders, because you don't want a bit of angle grinder disc shattering and flying into your eyeball. I don't care how tough you are. And don't listen to them, chaps. The ladies don't go mad for a guy with an eye patch. Right, nobody loves a pirate, really, because we don't all look like Johnny Depp, do we? He didn't have an eye patch anyway, did he? No. Anyway, angle grinder, ear defenders, and some glasses to protect your eyes. Don't be an idiot, do it. Even if you're using one of these little things off a Dremel type tool, they can shatter and go in your eye. But it's only ickle. Yeah, and it still shatters, and it's still sharp, and it still moves really fast. Wear eye protection. Just do it. So anyway, here we are. I'm going to put this in this side about halfway. It is a tight fit. Excellent. That's not quite as tight. It's obviously been in there a few times. Same on the other side. Looks like a car. Doesn't look like a car. Does a little bit. Pressy, pressy. Yeah, well, not quite square. We don't care. Ta-da! Lovely. So your reel then sits on that. And the skateboard bearings rotate to save you wearing a hole in the bottom of your box, because you don't want a hole in your bottom. So that's it, nice. So that fits in here with your box. Marvellous. It's almost like made to measure. This sits in here. Look, it's a tight fit. It's perfect. Reel goes in there. Spins round. Drill a hole there and a hole there for the other reel. Fit gland nut. Like so. And then you fit your bit of tube into said gland nut that pokes into the box. You feed the reel of filament through this tube, take that all the way to your printer. Now it's keeping it dry, perfect. Put some desiccant in the bottom of here. I always go for tins. You get these off eBay or Amazon or wherever. Little tin with a hinge lid. And fill it with that lovely orange desiccant. You can drill holes or just stab them with a screwdriver like I did. Don't stab your finger, because that hurts. Trust me, don't do it. Learn from my mistake. And that's a perfect little desiccant box which fits just nice in there. Perfect. Put two in. And then lastly but not leastly, you probably want to use one of these hygrometers, which you could just drop in here. Then you can see it, or you can cut a hole in the lid, hot glue that in. And that's pretty much it, dudes. If you need any more help, well, comment me. Okay, that's that bit. Now I need to fit. Dog hairs get everywhere. Hot glue gun on the back. Jobs are good un. I should get the hot glue gun. Oh. I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to my one viewer. Thank you. It's probably my dad. Bless him. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I've gone totally insane. God, that's a sexy desiccant pack, isn't it? Oh dear. Nightclub's nearly closing. That's all that's left. Do me. Yeah. I will see if we can do a neat job. The challenge, I should have roughed this up a bit with sandpaper, but I didn't. Why? Because, as we've already ascertained, I'm an idiot. That's quite a neat start, I like that. But yeah, hot glue, when you think about it, that's all you're doing in your 3D printer. That's all that is, hot glue with purple in it and a thinner thing. Bit of filament rather than a hot glue stick. It's just a thinner version of that, really, isn't it? Plastic, everything's plastic. Have you noticed everything's plastic? Everything. Your computer, your clothes, tubs, printers, lamps, bottles, everything your food comes in apart from cans. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, wow. Just plaggy everywhere. Fish tank's not plaggy.